Good morning, kids. We are still learning about creation. I hope that you've had a good morning so far at church. Last week we learned about the 7 days of creation, right? God made light, and He made animals and plants and all these other things, right? Today we're going to look at a few specific words and phrases in this story so that we know how to read it better. Okay, so we have in Genesis, for instance, in Genesis chapter 1, verse 5, the Bible says this: God called the light day, and darkness He called night. And there was evening, and there was morning, the first day. Okay, now, what do you notice about that? Not what God created, but what comes after that, right? He says what? Well, there was evening, and there was morning, and that was one day. Now, how many evenings are in a day? How many sunsets do you see per day? Only one, right? How many mornings are there per day? One, right? Who can answer this? How many hours are in a day? 24. That's right. So when the sun comes up, and then when it goes down and it's nighttime, before the sun comes up again, the day's over, right? That's one day, and that's what Genesis is telling us here, that all of these things happen in one day. Sun comes up, things happen, sun goes down, right? Evening, morning, day. Okay, that's one day. Now look at verse 8. See if you can hear it again. And God called the expanse heaven, and there was evening and there was morning, the second day. And what did you hear it again? There was evening and there was morning, and that was the second day. Right, and what did He make here? Made heaven, right? That's good. All right, now look at verse 13. Ready? Here we go again. Verse 13, all it says is, and there was evening and there was morning, the third day. Now, verse 19, look what it says, and there was evening and there was morning, the fourth day. Okay, so what do you think Moses is trying to tell us when he writes the book of Genesis? He's trying to tell us this is all happening in a day, one day. Okay, 24 hours. In one evening and one morning, these things happened. Okay, so now that's easy, right? That's one day. That's easy to understand. Now let's think about another word here. In the fourth day, we learned this word according to its kinds. Okay, so on the fourth day, what did God make? Or sorry, on the third day, what did God make? He made plants. That's right. So Genesis 1:12 says this: the earth brought forth vegetation, plants yielding seed according to their own kind, and trees bearing fruit in which is their seed, which is according to its kind. And God saw that it was good. Now, what does that mean? According to its own kind. What does that mean? Like, we don't say that ever. Well, that just means like an apple. If a seed fell into the ground, would grow an apple. Right, and an orange, right? Your parents made you, and you look like them. People make people, and dogs make dogs, and cats make cats. That's all. And trees make other trees, and sunflowers make more sunflowers. Right? That's all that means. It means that when they grow, when they make more of them, they're the same kind. Right? A dog isn't going to make a cat, and an apple's not going to make an orange or a grape. Right, and an apple is always going to be an apple, and your teacher actually has some seeds today to show you what an apple starts as a seed, and what it ends as, and it becomes this big tree and a nice fruit that we like to enjoy. Okay, so that's all that means, right? So we learned two phrases in Genesis. One, evening, and there was morning, one day. Okay, 24 hours. That's all it means in Genesis, and then. Two, the second thing we learned is according to its own kind, which means what? Well, it just means the same kind, right? The same kind of whatever it is, right? An apple's going to be an apple. That's all that means, okay? So that's what we're going to learn about this week, and from there I'll turn it over to your teachers.